Mr. Whalen reads!
Hi friends, it's Mr. Whalen here. I have brought you another story. This one, it caught my eye because the illustrations look familiar. Sometimes we read picture books and we'll see drawings that like, oh, I've seen that book. I know those pictures. I know who did those pictures. And we'll see pictures that recognize, look familiar. So I saw this book, which is called Yes We Can. And I looked at the illustration like, oh wait, I've seen those pictures before, but I haven't read this book. So I know whoever the illustrator is must have done the pictures for this book, but he's worked on other books that I've read too. I thought, oh, well, that was a good book last time. I remember the pictures he did. So I recognize the character of Little Roo here, and I think the duck and the mouse might have been in the last book too. But I don't remember what the last book was called. But I believe it was by the same author who is Sam McBratney. Sam McBratney did the words, and it was illustrated by Charles Fuge. So Charles Fuge, I didn't even know his name, but I recognized his pictures. And if I see a book that has pictures that I might recognize, well, maybe I want to check out that book too, because maybe the illustrator did something else that I might be interested to read. So that's another way we can find new books, is if we see something we recognize about it, maybe it's an author's name, or maybe it's the pictures that a certain illustrator did, and we say, oh, I know that name, or I know those pictures, and so let's see what else they did. So that's what I did, and I wound up finding a really cool book about a really cool thing. What happens when friends get kind of mad at each other? Done that before, right? You got friends, you're playing, everything seems to be going okay, and then something happens. Someone's feelings get hurt, somebody says something wrong or takes the wrong thing, and friends get mad at each other. What you gonna do? Well, who knows, but I thought they had a good solution at the end of this book, so let's see what they did when they said, yes, we can. All right, I had a great time reading this. It's my privilege to share it with you, and I hope you enjoy it.
Yes, We Can by Sam McBratney, illustrated by Charles Fuge. Yes, we can. Little Roo was chasing leaves one windy day. Roo's friends, Country Mouse and Quack a Duck, were waiting to play with him. "Let's make a big pile of leaves," said Roo. "A mountain of leaves," said Country Mouse. "The biggest ever seen," quacked Duck. They began to collect up all the leaves they could find. But making a leaf mountain is hard work, so after a while, they stopped for a rest. While they were resting, Little Roo said to his friend Quack a Duck, "I know something you can't do. You can jump over a big, big log." "Yes, I can," said Quack a Duck. Quack a Duck tried as hard as she could, but little ducks aren't made to jump over big, big logs. Country Mouse thought it was so funny when Quack a Duck fell over the fallen down tree. "Don't you laugh at me," said Quack a Duck to Country Mouse. "I know something you can't do. You can't float on a puddle." "Yes, I can," said Country Mouse. So Country Mouse tried to float on the puddle. But a little mouse isn't really made for floating. Little Roo thought it was so funny when Country Mouse crawled out of the water, soaking wet and dripping. "Don't you laugh at me," said Country Mouse. "I know something you can't do. You can't catch your own tail." "Yes, I can," said Roo. Roo tried as hard as he could to catch his own tail, but his tail would not be caught. It was too far away. Country Mouse and Quack a Duck laughed and laughed as Roo ran around in circles. "Don't you dare laugh at me," cried Roo. "Well, you laughed at me," said Mouse. "And you laughed at me," said Duck. No one was happy. No one was happy because each had made fun of someone else. and someone else had made fun of them. Instead of making the biggest mountain of leaves that anyone had ever seen, they looked as if they might all go home in a bad mood. Little Rue's mother came over to see what the fuss was about. "I'm not surprised the three of you look so grumpy," she said. "Nobody likes to be laughed at." It was true. No one likes to be laughed at. "Why don't you show each other what you can do?" said Rue's mom. Rue cried, "I can jump over a big, big log." He hopped up and over the fallen down tree. "That's really good jumping," the others said. "I can float on a puddle," said Quack a Duck, taking to the water with ease. "That's really excellent floating," the others agreed. And when Country Mouse caught his own tail, Little Roo and Quack a Duck thought that his tail catching was the best they'd ever seen. "There now," said Roo's mother. "Can we all be friends again?" Little Roo, Country Mouse, and Quack a Duck looked at one another. They were all thinking the same thing. Yes, we can.